Hello, everyone in the Philippine Infrastructure and Construction Club. My talk for today is how is the stock market in the Philippines? And number two, how are the shares of stock of aboitiz Equity Ventures? My name is Sandy Gillis, and I'm talking to you now about the stock watch. Now, Philippine stocks, the recent trends are fortunately upwards. It's the reversal of a downtrend, meaning it's been down since 2020 and then it's gradually moving up now. Reason is that the lockdowns mean that people cannot move around to do business, and business slows down and the economy slows down. So therefore the stock market also has to slow down. Now the question is whether it will pick up soon. I think yes. The regarding aboitiz Equity Ventures shares, if sales and profits improve because of infrastructure projects, then the share price may move up from here on. Now, what is the trend? In stock markets or in any financial markets, there are prices of securities. If the share price is moving in an uptrend and it has a chance to continue upwards, then you should follow the uptrend because it might continue upwards. For example, in this diagram, the trend is slowly moving like this, and you're wondering what's next. Oh, well, what's next is that it can continue moving up like that. So very easily, the uptrend might continue. This is the case of Wilcon Depot, where it's an uptrend moving up the hill, and then there's also Ayala Corporation, also an uptrend moving up, and then you also have SM Investments, a big arrow moving up the hill. Century Pacific Food is a little different. It's moving sideways and then finally coming upward. Now, there are times when the trend that you can see is downwards, but it might change direction. So if the trend changes direction, then you should change your opinion and follow the new trend because the new trend might make money for you. People are staying away because it's been a downtrend, but now as it moves up, you get on board and then you ride it up, even if other people are distrusting that trend. You see, it can still possibly move upwards. Now, the Philippine Stock Exchange has 273 listed companies and the market value of about $273 billion. It started, whatever was the market value of all the available stocks in the 1980s, it was set equal to 100 points. And then by 1988, the number of points got up to 600. And by 2003, the number of points was 1,000. By 2009, it was 2,000 points. And by 2016, it got up to 8,000 points. And that's where it stayed approximately until 2020. And then it declined all the way down below 5,000. And then now it's up to 6,875. So I believe that the decline has been countered by an uptrend. This is the index over the last many years. Oh, sorry, okay. Over the last many years, it's been steady, 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 and then finally down a bit, and then trying to move up and to correct to get an uptrend again. Now, so here I point out that the downtrend has been reversed into an uptrend because it's been since early 2021. It's been still moving downhill, but then in towards the end of May, the stock prices started to pick up. Right, so first there was a downtrend, and then it was reversed by an uptrend. Now, let me explain the difference between long-term and short-term trends. If the prices are yellow, so they're constantly moving up like this, and you don't know what the trend is. But if you get the short-term moving average, which is the red line, then you'll see that the prices are generally moving up and then down for a while and then up again. Now, if you want to ask for the long-term moving average of the entire time period, then it looks like this blue line over here. Now, in this picture of the Philippine Stock Exchange index of the top 30 stocks, The red line is the short term moving average, meaning past 14 days. Then the blue line is the long term moving average of the past 50 days or 50 trading periods. Now, the significance of average is that as long as you know what your average number is, then you will know what is above average or below average. So, for example, you're driving a car and then you're moving at a certain speed of so many kilometers per hour, maybe 50. Sometimes you step on the accelerator, you move above 50. You step on the brakes, you're moving less than 50. But your average speed all throughout would be approximately 50. So there might be moments like for a time that you're moving fast and then slow and then fast again. So those are the short term trends: fast, slow, and then fast again. But if you take the whole time period, then you draw a blue line and then you see what's the average for the entire time period. And then you will later check if the price itself is above average or below average. And if it's above average, is it racing upwards? So that will tell you what to do. The important there are some important names of trends. One of them is called a continuation trend because so far the indicators are it might be moving up, might be moving up, might be moving up. Yes, I think it will continue upwards. So that's the so-called continuation trend. The other one is first it was moving up and then down and then up again. So that's called a reversal trend because it changes direction and you have to follow the changes of direction. Talagang mahirap ang stocks. You have to watch it closely, especially if you're trading. I don't really trade. I invest, meaning I buy every month for years and years. But if you like to trade, it's interesting and exciting. You need to look at the trends: short term, medium term, long term. So here's an example on the page of the medium term uptrend, meaning slowly moving up like this. Then there's a short term downtrend, and then eventually another medium term uptrend. Okay, so this is an example of medium term up, short term down, and then medium term up. You can also draw the box in a different way, and you'll see that long term it's up, but even if there's a short term downtrend, right? So this helps you to predict what to do now. Because if it's long term uptrend, then you just keep on buying the stock. Even if there's a short term downtrend, all the more you buy when it's down, and then it continues to move up. Here's an example of the Philippine Stock Exchange Index. First, there's a red box, meaning sideways, green box moving up, red box moving down, and green box, that's where we are now, moving up. So if you see a trend that it's moving up, then you can safely buy. It's not too late. This is another example of a close-up of the Philippine Stock Exchange Index. The red box tells you that it's drifting lower, and then the blue box tells you that it's drifting higher. So we're on good terms here. We're in good shape. We're drifting higher. And then the long term picture is that if you take the past 12 years, the past year 2009 to 2016 has been upwards. 2016 to 20 has been like sideways or downwards. And finally, 2021, we're hoping will move up a bit. So that's what everyone is looking for. And I think it's beginning to happen despite all the concerns, because there's still concerns about lockdowns and lack of mobility. Therefore, you can't really go around doing business or selling products. You're hampered by the lack of mobility. So where's the economy going? I think that it will eventually prevail because people need to attend to their basic needs, and in their drive to meet their basic needs, they will have to get food, clothing, shelter, and telecoms and communications and transportation. So therefore, eventually the economy will be driven forward, and then the stock market will be driven upward. Now, unless if people can move around again freely, then yes, the economy can be driven forward, or they could look for ways to earn money even if they are working from home, find ways to be productive. So, uh, so I think that eventually, in spite of all the concerns over COVID and the lockdowns, then the economy will eventually open up, and you should be positioned now for that. When that time comes, you have to be in stocks already for you to ride it upwards. Now, long term, the stock exchange since 1980 it has been generally upwards. So if you are looking for the long term trend, it's generally upwards, in spite of the ups and downs every 5 years. And I think if you take a long term view, then you would be wise to still take advantage of this trend, which is upward moving. Um, Now, turning to aboitiz Equity Ventures for the stock itself, then it's generally upwards for from 2007 to 2019, down from 2019 to 20. But we're hoping that if infrastructure projects deliver more sales and profit, then yes, it could also feature an uptrend. Okay, so that's still possible. It's in the cards for 2022. Thank you for listening. Feel free to join my Facebook group, Basics on Stocks and Investing, and you can freely download files. Thanks again for your kind attention. I am Alexander Gilles, and I'm studying to be a financial planner or investment advisor in Sydney, Australia. Feel free to email me to refer me to audiences who would want to learn about financial wellness or financial literacy. Well, thank you and good day.